stand right here like this, okay? All right, so every time I draw someone, something, whatever, I never just start drawing it. I set it all up first. I figure out where I'm gonna put everything, and I do that with a gesture drawing, okay? I'm gonna show you what a gesture drawing is. One of the most things about that you need to learn before I teach you how to do a gesture drawing is proportion. So you guys have all drawn people in the past because every single one of you in this room has drawn a person. I know this. And I know that you've done good drawings of people. And I know that you started with the head and worked your way down, and then the paper cut off right around the thighs. I know this. Every single one of you have done a drawing of a person that cuts off right here. Guarantee it. I want to teach you how to draw where you fit the whole person on the page. Every time. Also, you will be able to draw multiple people on a page, different sizes, behind each other. So you can draw a group of people. Most of you just have one character on a page, and if it interacts with another character, they're at the same level and they probably don't overlap or touch. Okay? So we're gonna get away from that. I'm gonna draw Mariana really quickly using, I'm not gonna draw her. I'm going to make a gesture of her and what's around her to get ready for a drawing. So I'm gonna show you how I do that. And I do every painting that I do this, all right? So she is standing there. Her head is tilted. I usually draw perpendicular, but she's behind me, so it's a little weird. So I'm gonna start with her head, and I'm gonna move this trash can out of the way so I can see her. All right,
Lovely noise.
beautiful. So I'm gonna draw her head right here, tilted this way, all right? Her shoulders are relatively close to her head. And when I look at her, she's putting all of her weight on her left leg. So if I'm standing straight, and then I put all my weight on my left leg, oh shoot. Does the shoulder go up? Did I tell them wrong?
No, you told them right.
It
This
went up a
shoulder,
little.
the opposite shoulder goes up, okay? So my shoulders go like this. When that happens, that means my hips go like this. That's called contrapposto, okay? Wait a minute, no. Something's wrong. Let me think. I was looking at her, now I'm doing me. So now my shoulders go like this, and my hips go like this, and it creates a triangle. And I'll show you what I mean. So her head is here, and then her shoulder is up here like this.
Can you move so I can move my headphones?
No. You do what you're doing. You're fine. I can draw you no matter what. Okay. Her spine comes down like this. Her hips create this contrapposto. And that means if I drew a line, it would make a triangle. Okay? So whatever your shoulder does, your hips do the opposite, and it creates a triangle. So, now her hips are here. All of her weight is on this foot. Now, from here to here is the same as from here to your feet. And I'm going to talk more about that later. So whatever this is the same as this. So I'm going to draw her left foot. Then her other foot is behind here. All right? So from here to here, the knee is halfway in between. All right? And then her knee is bent. We have something called foreshortening. And her leg is up here. Okay? Now, her hand is over here. Her hand is about at her hip level. So I'm going to put her hand right here. And then her elbow is right here. Comes down like this. And the other hand, this one's in her pocket. Her elbow is about right here, and I join this. So now I know what she's doing, and I can start drawing her now. I can start drawing everything that's in here, and then when I look at this, I see that this needs to be a little bit shorter. I just changed it. If I wasn't talking, this would have taken me like 10-15 seconds to draw. All right? So now, there's a table right here. I taught you guys linear perspective. You know how to do this, right? So here's the table. Here's the other side of the table. And then I can come in here like this, and then there's two nails right here. And I can set up this drawing and I'm like, oh, that's not enough. So, Elena, did I say it right? Elena. I knew I said it wrong, sorry. So Elena's sitting right there. So now I see her elbow is right there above Mariana's hand. I can draw her face right here. Her hand is right here. Her shoulders. And her elbow's over here. She's coming down. And then she's got her hand on her face. And I have her sitting back there. And then I can keep going. I can be like, you knew it was coming. Viviana's over here. And her shoulders are right here. She's a little higher than that. And it's there, she was here. You were down further, so I'm gonna put your head up higher. Your shoulders are right here. Hands over here. Elbows right here. Hook it. And then your other hand's here. Elbow comes up to your arm. And then down here, I see, I'm not gonna, it's too hard to see your legs. I can do it, but I don't wanna do that. And then I can go even further because there's a table back there. And if I look, Pacific is right here. And he's gonna get smaller because he's further away. And he's got his hands right here. His elbows right here. Hooks here. And his arm goes down there. And then Josh is hiding over there and I can put Josh in right there. And I can start fitting everybody in where they need to go, but I haven't drawn anybody. But I've done a gesture drawing. If I draw an object, thank you, Mariana. If I draw an object, I don't go in and draw that object right away. I draw the gesture of it. So I can figure out, that's just where I'm gonna put it, okay? And then I can go in and actually start drawing a stool. And I can start making it look like it's a stool. But I figured out where everything was gonna go first, okay? I do it with objects, I do it with people, I do it with scenery, I do it with everything. Gesture drawing is the basis for so many things you don't even know. There's no sense in ever drawing a person the way you have in the past. So we have, we've gone over the face, we've done hands, we've done features, we've done a skeleton. Now we're doing the whole body and how to put it all together, okay? So there's never, ever a reason for you to draw like this again. I never, ever want to see you draw another figure like this again, okay? Every single one of you has a figure that goes off the page on the bottom. Never, ever again. If you want to draw a figure, you want to draw the whole thing. And you can draw it doing whatever you want it to do. And you can get the whole thing on the page. If that's how big your page is, if your page is bigger, you can still get the whole thing on the page. And you can figure out where everything goes, okay? So you can figure out what's going on before you start drawing. Today I'm going to teach you how to do a very basic gesture drawing, and we're going to worry about movement. We're going to, gesture is capturing the movement of a thing, but gesture also is capturing the shape and the placement of a thing. So gesture is usually movement. If I was going to go to a theater and I'm going to draw people dancing, I would use gesture drawing to get it done, and then I would go home and finish the drawing, okay? So, to get started, we are going to work all together, and we're going to work on knowing some things are true. And we know some things are true, and then we know that certain people are not like the norm, because everybody's different. Every single person is different, and if you find out how they're different, then you can draw them. So, we're gonna work, just so we're all on the same page, we're gonna work on the premise that the human figure is 7 heads high. So on the left side of your horizontal paper, I want you to use the whole paper, and I want you to draw I want you to draw 7 heads on top of each other. These are not heads because they're not oval shaped. We're just using circles to represent heads. So these circles represent 7 heads high. So if your paper's like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you probably even want to make it bigger than I did. At first I thought that was Matthew's, and I'm like, oh. Okay. 7 circles on top of each other. These circles represent the height of a head. Okay, when I do a gesture drawing, I draw the head first. So we could turn this circle into an oval a little bit, kind of make it a head. Whatever, it doesn't matter. If you leave it a circle, I don't care. We're going to draw me standing like this. Okay? We're going to make it really easy. All right? 7. So, we're going to draw the shoulders first, then the hips, then we're going to do the legs, then we're going to do the arms. So the first thing that you need to know is that normally a female figure, the hips are wider than the shoulders. On a male, the shoulders are wider than the hips. A male figure, and I don't care what the they, them, he, she, that, whatever is. I'm talking about what a human skeleton looks like. When they find a human skeleton, they know if it's male or female based on the size of the hips and the size of the shoulders. So there is no social dispute on he, them, they, she. A skeleton is either male or female, and I'm not getting into a religious political debate. I'm talking about science, okay? Biology is a science, so I said it in a general term. Biology and chemistry are a form of science, so yeah, you're right. So, we're going to work on the premise. We're not going to go either way. We're going to make the hips and the shoulders the same, just to make it easy. Instead of making one bigger or one smaller, we're just going to do them the same. And then that way, whoever you're drawing, you can just modify it, okay? So let's make the shoulders next to the head. Everybody makes the neck like 3 feet long. Stop that. Where's my chin in relation to my shoulders? It's pretty close, isn't it? My neck isn't this long, so quit making the necks this long. It's ridiculous. Stop. So here's the shoulders. The shoulders are approximately 2.5 heads wide. If you look at my shoulders, you can take 2.5 heads. That's how wide my shoulders are. Okay? Now, here's the other thing you need to know. Okay. I'm going to stand up here for this. Okay. Okay, what's this right here? What's this right here? Right there. It's my hip bone. Guess what? This is not my hip. I want you guys to hit the side of your hip. Not there, that's your hip. Hit down here. What's this? No, look at the shape of the pelvis. It's not your pelvis. What's this? The top of your femur is right there. This is where your leg hooks. This is where your leg hooks into your pelvis. Here's your pelvis. It comes down here. Here's your pelvis. This is your leg. This is your leg. Okay? The leg starts right there. To the top of my head is the same as from right here to the bottom of my feet. This is halfway, okay? This is not halfway. Can you see that now? This is not halfway. This is halfway. That's where your hips go, okay? So on the fourth head, that's where your hips go. Middle of the fourth head, that's where your hips go. Fourth circle. All right, so from here to here is the same as from here to here. Now, the next thing I want to draw is my feet. Draw it however you want to. Remember, I'm just standing there. Here's my feet. Okay? Those are my feet. However, you can draw triangles. I don't care. All right. So there's my feet. Now, if I hook them from here to here, approximately halfway are my knees. I'm going to do a connect the dots. And there are my legs. Okay? All right, my hands. Have you all heard that ladies, your skirts and your shorts need to be fingertip length? Do you know what that means? Your fingertips, where they hit your legs, is halfway between your knees and where your legs start. Okay? Your legs start here, here's your knees, fingertip length, halfway between. So remember, we're drawing me and I'm standing there like this. So I'm going to put some fancy hands right there. Okay? My elbow is approximately middle. Not exactly. I'm going to put my elbow in the middle, connect the dots, and bam, you guys got a stick figure in correct proportion. So yes, we are drawing stick figures today, but I don't even know how to draw one. Can you see how that's not right? Here's the stick figure you've drawn all your life. This part right here is technically where your hips are. Okay? So you drew a stick figure that was half the size it should be. That's the stick figure. If you take this stick figure and you make this the hips and make this the shoulders, and then make the arms twice as long, now you have a correct stick figure. Okay? Okay, so now, Mariana, would you be my model again? You're right here, that's wonderful. Okay, so now you guys are going to use that guideline on the left to guide you through doing your very first gesture drawing. This is a guide. You don't need to draw the heads again because they're already on the page, okay? So now we know where everything goes, okay? So Mariana, I'm not gonna put any fancy movements like sitting or anything like that on you. We're just gonna do stand together first, okay? So what you're doing right there is fine. Stay like that. So even though she's on the side, I can still use this guideline to draw her. Some of the things are what we call foreshortening. So I drew her from the side. I can still use those guidelines. Thank you. All right, so now we are going to have a model. What's the model?
Me.
Okay.